Good morning, guys. It is April 20th, and I was just going to flip that around. Kind of a cool date, April 20th, 2020. Benchmark writing math are what I'm going to talk about in addition to a couple other things. So first off, you guys should have completed your Google Doc on both we get to listen to that. On both the benchmark activities for the week and then also for the writing essay. And most of you did a phenomenal job, and I'm so proud of you. A couple things you need to just keep in mind. Red lines and blue lines, you don't want to turn off your spell check, so you want to see those. And then they usually are telling you whether you have too many spaces or you spelled something wrong. A lot of caps missing. A lot of your information you're taking from the social studies book, like American Revolution. So that should be spelled correctly. It should have capitals, so don't be messing that kind of stuff up. Make sure you're proofreading. That's part of your essay process. A couple things that were left out on some of your benchmark activities. So where it said legend, parts of a legend, you were supposed to write the parts of a legend, and then similes were supposed to come from the actual story, not ones that you made up. But it's cool that you know what similes are, so I guess that's a plus. And then there was another one, main idea and key details. You were supposed to give me the main idea and the key details, and a lot of you just did the key details. So just making sure that you're following the directions completely. Michaela had a good question, so I'm going to pull that up right there so you can kind of see it. And she said, when we're done with benchmark, should we turn it in? This is my first time really using benchmark. I mean, not benchmark, the Google Docs. So it's kind of cool when you turn them in. I mean, either way, I can read them and check them. But if you turn them in, it kind of keeps track for me, like who's done it. And again, some of you had 0 things written down for your docs, and that's not okay. So I wanted to show you. If you're not sure where to find them, so I will put on here, let's see, there's the science hyperdoc. We'll talk about that in a minute. So when I put that on there, okay, so this is on here. That's your plan. You guys have that. It's updated. And then, sorry if you can see, I know, Toomey let me know that that didn't work. I put my morning message on there a second time just in case people couldn't see it. And then we have the science. And you're not going to see your docs on here, or you might, but they're not going to work. So you have to go up here to classwork, and then you're going to see your docs. So they look like that. Google Doc for writing and reading. You're going to have new ones for this week, and it's going to be for writing and reading also. And they'll look like that, and you just click on them and complete them. Take advantage of the spell check because it's there. So, science, first time really doing that hyperdoc. I'm not sure. I think maybe I was supposed to make you a copy of it, and I didn't do that because I didn't know. So if we do any more Google Docs, or I can ask, I'll email the other teachers and ask them if I was supposed to, and I can resend that. Remember, that's enrichment. It's awesome, and I would love you to do it because we haven't gotten to that science yet. And so if you don't do it at all, you're not going to learn about the periodic table, because we haven't done it. So I highly recommend at least looking over it. Sometimes if you feel like you have too much to do, you can explore, watch the videos, read a couple things. Maybe don't do all the writing, and that's okay. But I want you to at least be exposed to it and introduced to it so that when you hear the periodic table next year in science, you're not like, what? I've never heard of that. So that brings me to my question for you for this week, for the rest of this time, because we know we are out for the rest of the year. What do you want to get out of this? What do you want to do for the next month and a half? Do you want to be lazy and sleep until noon and play video games? Some of you might say yes, but really, is that really what you want? If you think about your long-term expectations, life, whatever, you need to keep up with the classwork and do the benchmark reading. You can listen to it also if that's easier. You need to be working on that math and checking your answers. You need to be writing and writing. You need to be reading independently and enjoying those books and doing your Padlet. That's what's going to prepare you for 6th grade next year. And if you do those things, I'm really not that worried about you guys being behind when you start next year, because everyone keeps talking about, oh, the kids are going to be so far behind. No, if you do this stuff, the majority of it, you're not going to be behind. So, but that's on you. So you need to take that initiative, and you need to be self-motivated, which most of you are. So yay, good job. Okay, I'm not going to preach anymore. So I'm going to do things a little different today. I'm going to try it. It might make it a little long. So I'll probably spend less time on math and a little more on writing, because some of your writing, although you guys put great effort into it, some of you are still kind of struggling. So we're still looking at using the box and dots or box and bullets or whatever it says in your notes. So try that using that organization, because that's what it should kind of look like. Okay, so for this week, for benchmark, you're going to be reading The Pagoda on the Hill of Imperial Springs. So that is another legend from China. And here, I'll flip my thing around. All right, so we're chunking this one up because it's a long story. So you're doing pages 12, 13, 14, and you're going to be doing key events and summarizing. So again, if you're annotating, highlighting what you think is an important thing, that's what you need to do. So then, and then you'll stop there. Okay. And what else did I swear I wanted to say something? Okay, I don't know. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and move on to writing. So I went ahead and I wrote the introduction for you. Bam. Now you do not need to use my introduction, but you can if you want. So when you get your social studies book out, it's going to say to look at pages like I want to say it's 115. Who caused change? Okay, so the people I focused on, I went ahead and I did Mr. James Otis. So he's on page 116. So he's up here. I did John Adams. And there's just a plethora of people. And the book doesn't even begin to cover all the amazing people that impacted the American Revolution, but that's okay. We're just practicing. This is more like learning some social studies and practicing our informational writing. Okay, I need to make sure I don't get my pants in the video because I'm still wearing my pajamas. Shh, don't tell. Okay, and then so I did those two, and then my third one I took from page a different unit. So I want to say it was 133-ish, and it talks about the women that played a role. So I kind of did it different. I did James Otis, John Adams, and then I just did women for my third one, my third person, and then I'm going to talk about a couple women because the book doesn't give you great information. So a couple things I want to highlight are your introductory sentence. So whatever your question is, you need to kind of touch on that in your first sentence. So my first sentence, that there were many important people that had an impact on the American Revolution. All right, and then I'm going to do my three people. So who are my three people? Nope, we don't want pink. Let's do purple. So I'm going to have one sentence for each person. So James Otis, and I just did a little generic sentence. He was one of the first to argue against the British. All right, and then I'm going to do, that's my first person. And then my second person is John Adams, and I'm going to say he made many speeches against the unfair acts passed by the British. So just one little thing he did. So that's my second guy. And then my third one, in addition, many women helped at home and in the war by speaking up, writing, and fighting. Okay, so that's I just did women. But in that paragraph that I write about women, that's going to talk about a couple different ones because there's some cool chicks that did some cool things. All right. And then I have to have another sentence, kind of a concluding sentence. So I'm going to do that one in pink again. So it is, because of the brave people, the patriots, because of, maybe I would do these brave people, comma, the patriots were able to defeat the British. All right, so that's like my concluding sentence. So the way this is going to look, that's paragraph 1. Paragraph 1. Paragraph 2, I will now write, and now if you guys want, you can pause your video and copy this. You can pick different people. You can switch my words up, but I want to have 5 sentences. I want one on like what your topic is, your 3 different people, each get their own sentence. Do not try and cram those into one sentence. And then one more sentence, kind of wrapping up, what's the big deal about these people? Okay, so paragraph 2 is going to be all about Mr. James Otis. and I'm not writing that for you. So the book doesn't have a ton of information. You might only have 3 sentences. That's okay. That's okay. Your third paragraph is going to be all about Mr. John Adams. And then your fourth paragraph is going to be about the women that helped out in the war. So, and this one actually might have quite a bit of information because you have a lot of different women that did a lot of different things. You're using a lot of proper nouns, so make sure those are capitalized. This is not the end. Some of you did a good job, but then you forgot your conclusion. So your 5th paragraph, remember this is a 5-paragraph essay, you need to have a conclusion. So your conclusion is going to restate that there were a lot of people that had an impact on the American Revolution. You're going to name your 3 people again. And then wrap it up. So it might not be quite as long as this, but it should include the topic and definitely your 3 people. Okay, so that's that. Hopefully that will help. Okay, moving on then. Okay, I would love to get feedback on how math is working for you guys. I know that the measurements are they're different. So before with metric, all you had to do was multiply and divide by your decimals and kind of move things around. Now you have to know how many inches are in a foot, how many feet are in a yard, how many feet are in a mile. I mean, it's crazy. Some of that's we just know, and some of it is memorization. Now we're doing volume, which is your liquid. A really cool thing to do with this is the video that you're going to watch on King Gallon, sorry. So King Gallon, and I recommend writing down the little picture that they do for Mr. King Gallon, and that can help you with the math. And we can go ahead and wrap it up there. I wasn't going to do the math with you today. I was going to have you, hopefully that video will help you. So I'm doing it a little different. I wanted to spend more time on writing. So let me know, oh my gosh, that was horrible. I need the math, or that was really helpful, or whatever. So we're just all trying to figure this out. And thank you for reaching out when things don't work. Thank you for asking for help, for questions. I'm gonna try something new and do kind of office hours. The other teachers have done this, and it wouldn't be for everybody. So when we Zoom meet on Wednesday, that's kind of like, hey guys, questions, comments, what are you doing? What's fun? This will be more small group where I will actually be teaching and answering questions that go with the assignment, whether it's, I couldn't find the 3 similes, or I need help with the math, or whatever it is. So look for that. I'm not sure what day I'm going to do it yet, so just keep an eye out for that. So on Mondays, you'll get, well, every day, you're going to get the slide deck again with my morning message. I'm just going to send it separate because I put it in the date, but then some people don't know it's there. So not that you really want to listen to me, but it's nice. I know I like seeing faces. So have an awesome Monday, and let me know if I forgot anything. I'm checking my notes. Good job on iReady, some of you. Some of you, it's okay, you haven't done any. But I'm checking. It shows me what percentage you've done, like how your scores are. So make sure you're finding that balance and getting done what you need to get done, and be awesome.